Welcome to UTRGV Radio News. I'm Hannah Lopez.
And I'm Albert Monroy. Starting off this week's newscast, an update on the shooting of a DPS trooper this past Saturday. The suspect, 24-year-old Edinburgh native Victor Alejandro Godinez, has been charged with 3 counts of attempted capital murder of a police officer and has had a bond set for $3 million. The trooper, Moises Sanchez, is in stable but critical condition following the shooting, which occurred near the UTRGV Edinburgh campus. UTRGV officials sent emergency emails warning students about the situation and gave the all clear when there was no longer a clear and present danger. Our next story has Hannah Lopez reporting on a confirmed mumps case at UTRGV Edinburgh.
As of last week, the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley sent out an email stating there was a confirmed case of mumps on the Edinburgh campus. On March 28th, the student showed up to the Student Health Services Clinic with symptoms and was later confirmed for the mumps. On April 1st, a second student showed up with symptoms, but there has been no confirmation. Director of Health Services Rick Gray tells us the outbreak did not begin at UTRGV.
Outfit in Mission that's popular with college students, and they've tracked almost the entire outbreak back to them.
Eddie Olivares, Chief Administrative Officer for the Hidalgo County Health and Human Services, tells UTRGV Radio a total of 250 cases of mumps are known statewide, and that mumps are not common in the Hidalgo County. The mumps is a vaccine-preventable disease that can be transmitted by kissing, touching, and any sort of physical situation that involves saliva. Those unvaccinated are susceptible to the illness.
This is very much a preventable illness with a vaccination. You could prevent yourself from getting it.
Since this happened on campus, biology junior David Rodriguez explains what he thinks the university should do to prevent it from spreading.
UTRGV should offer vaccinations, free checkups for anyone that suspects they might have it.
Olivares urges those who feel they are showing any signs of the mumps should go to their doctor and get tested.
Ask your doctor to do a mumps test. Yeah, and they could do that. It won't take long.
The Hidalgo County Health and Human Services are still investigating where the root source came from and encourages those who have not gotten vaccinated to do so at their family clinic. This is Hannah Lopez for UTRGV Radio News. Jerry Galindo reports on UTRGV athletics and their presence on the Brownsville campus.
The UTRGV Athletics Department is working on creating a more inclusive presence across the university. While Edinburgh remains the primary campus for student athletes, Associate Athletic Director for Communications, Jonah Goldberg, tells UTRGV Radio how university facilities and infrastructure in Edinburgh play a key part in deciding where games are played.
Yeah, facilities is really the big key. We have the field house here, the baseball stadium, soccer fields, and we have. And all this stuff's on campus. Like Garza Gym, where like UTB used to play volleyball, actually belongs to STC from what I understand. So, there would be a rental fee is one thing.
Aside from hosting the upcoming Western Athletic Conference tennis tournament in Brownsville, future student-oriented events are in development on the Brownsville campus. Senior Associate Athletic Director for External Communications, Chelsea Blakely, tells us more about the upcoming events.
Regardless if it's Edinburgh or Brownsville, we are trying to get students engaged and passionate about athletics. I think the other thing that we'll do better next year is that regular presence. Once a month, we're going to try to have like a pop-up that has just a tent in the middle of campus that can allow students to come, get athletic swag, learn about watch parties, learn about transportation.
From a student-athlete's perspective, Mass Communications Senior Jordan Jackson says it would be a good idea to have the department become more inclusive and considerate of the other campuses.
I think that would be good, to get the fan base, expanded out, into Brownsville. I feel like it would be cool to have maybe a couple of neutral site games, like in between Edinburgh and Brownsville, at maybe a venue or something like that. I think a lot of people would come out to that and support and like I said, just, keep the foundation building.
Jackson says this season has provided growth for UTRGV athletics and that he looks forward to the future of the department once he graduates later this year. This is Jerry Galindo for UTRGV Radio News.
UTRGV men's baseball played Chicago State last Friday. Jerry Galindo gives us the report.
Last Friday, the UTRGV baseball team went up against the Chicago State University Cougars. UTRGV took the win with a final score of 8-1. The Vaqueros got off to a strong start, scoring 4 unanswered runs by the bottom of the third. The game went scoreless until the 8th inning when the Vaqueros added 3 runs. Head coach Derek Matlock tells us what he was expecting out of CSU.
Coach has done an outstanding job getting a couple extra players that are really good. You saw those balls they hit hard. They're scrappy. They're tough kids from Chicago. They love to play the game. They love this weather. They've been freezing their butt off all year. They get out here in this weather. They're like, all right, let's go to work. And they're excited to play. And they got some big, physical, tough kids. And it's going to be a test. I mean, that coach has done a great job with that program.
UTRGV's second baseman Anthony Gomez led both of the teams with a batting average of 33%. UTRGV pitcher Travell Hill logged the win, and the Cougars pitcher Brett Gregory took the loss. Center fielder Coleman Grubbs shares more on the winning moment.
I mean, obviously when you hit that ball, I mean, you just know it's gone. I mean, it's probably the best feeling in the world, running around the bases, just knowing you hit it out and knowing you help your team score so you get more chances to win.
The win put the UTRGV Vaqueros 5-2 in the Western Athletic Conference. The next game for the UTRGV Vaqueros baseball team is this Wednesday, April 10th, against the Houston Baptist Huskies. The game starts at 3 p.m. at the HBU Baseball Huskies Field in Houston. For full schedules and updates, visit goutrgv.com. This is Jerry Galindo with UTRGV Radio Sports.
And now for this week's Professor Spotlight, brought to you by Hannah Lopez.
Chemistry Lecturer 3, Tina Thomas, has been an instructor at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley for more than 5 years. Thomas came to the United States as an engaged scholar at Texas A&M University and in 2010 received her PhD at Texas Tech University, Lubbock. She first started teaching chemistry at the University of Georgia and in 2013 moved to UTRGV.
My husband started working here in 2012, so I started looking for positions over here. And since my parents, my grandparents, my sister, everyone is teachers, I think it's in my blood to teach.
Thomas takes part in research, judging for high school science fairs, and is a part of 8 different organizations. But she explains why she enjoys teaching over everything else.
It's not for money, it's not for any other reason. It's just satisfying to see smiles on the students' faces, and when they come back and tell that I learned chemistry.
Thomas tells UTRGV Radio that students who are afraid of chemistry should connect the subject with their everyday life, and they will find that it is a piece of cake. This is Hannah Lopez for this week's Professor Spotlight on UTRGV Radio News. And now for this week's bulletins. Hello, Vaqueros. This is Hannah Lopez with your Valley weather. Temperatures will stay in the 80s and 90s with lows in the 60s throughout the whole week, with a 10 to 20% chance of rain. Expect thunderstorms and rain early Saturday morning. The Student Union is hosting a billiards tournament. UTRGV students can enjoy playing in the billiards tournament for a chance to win V-Bucks. This will take place today from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. at the Edinburg Student Union Game Room.
The UREC in Edinburg will be hosting a road challenge. Test your limits with this 20,000-meter challenge that starts up until the 26th. All students can sign up at the back desk at the UREC. For more information, call 956-665-7808 or email urec@utrgv.edu.
UTRGV will be hosting the Cello Festival Artist Recital. This will take place on April 12th from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the UTRGV Performing Arts Complex in Edinburg. For more information, you can contact 956-665-3881.
Community members, students, and soon-to-be students are invited to the College of Education open hours this Friday from 4 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. in the Brownsville main building courtyard. This open house will give everyone a chance to learn exactly what the college has to offer. For more information, call 956-665-3627.
And that's all for this week's UTRGV Radio Newscast. If you have a story idea, contact us at radio@utrgv.edu or utrgvradio.com.
From all of us here at UTRGV Radio News, thank you for listening.